Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we give all praise, all and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Makakwadash, that honors my elders and apostles, and millstone, who will teach well, being good as I'm touch younger brothers, and peace and blessings to all full act, Lord willing, part that number. From the Lord Quadar, for Jimmy's Ben Chicago, come back another video. This video is going to be entitled Starving Billionaire. Alright, and this is a old article, that I've seen. I first seen something about this on TikTok, then I did my research on it. All right, this is a country, Zimbabwe in Africa, of course. All right, they got so far up to the point of inflation, that they had a whole cart of money, and that shit was nothing, So this video is just gonna be about inflation and famine. All right, this is a foreshadow of what's coming. All right, these third world countries are foreshadowing what's coming to America, man. Thus saith the Bible. All right, which America is the third world country, if you can understand. But I'm gonna read it. It says here we have an image from 2008. All right, so this is a while back. It says records of a Zimbabwean making a visual comment on the fact that in a matter of months, his country experienced government-driven hyperinflation that left him broke. All right, and best believe Esau has a hand in that because, Esau drains a lot of his resources, all right, from these African countries. All right, that's a land, that's a continent that's big in resources, man, all kinds of resources. All right, and Esau has his gold drains, gold mines and shit like that, diamond mines. All right, and when a leader of that country tries to revolt against them, try to expel them from their land, all right, they either assassinate the leader or they fuck up the economy. All right, this is it says in July of that year, inflation stood at 3,500% per month. In order to cope with hyperinflation, the Zimbabwe government simply printed currency notes in ever-increased denominations, the highest being $100 trillion. Yes, that's $100 trillion. Sounds like a lot of money, so why is the gentleman above referring to himself as starving? Well, in July 2008, the cost of a loaf of bread has risen to $10 billion. In actual fact, the banknotes displayed on the cardboard above fell well short of that amount. It said, not surprisingly, the monetary system soon collapsed, and by the following February, it needed to be restarted completely. Tough break for Zimbabweans, but other than for compassion, why should we be concerned? Because history has propensity for repeating itself. Let me go into that word. It says, the propensity theory of probability is a probability interpretation in which the probability is thought of as a physical propensity. Interpretation of probability as innate propensity of an event to occur. So basically the chances of another event to occur, similar to this. It says for repeating itself in the countries whose government make the same mistakes as Zimbabwe's did, it will produce the same devastating result again and in the countries near you. I wrote above text in January 2014, then stopped. It occurs to me that the significance of it would be felt more greatly at the time when Venezuela had reached the same state as Zimbabwe in 2008. But we know the Venezuelans still going through it. I did wrote an essay for International Man entitled Watch the Movie, which offer a prediction as to the future of Venezuela. At the time, inflation had just reached 50%, and although most of the world paid little attention, I suggested that if we were to follow the events there over the next few years, we'll learn a great deal as to what was in store for the U.S., EU, Canada, and several other nations of the former free world. In 2014, Venezuela began a pattern that has been repeated countless times by other nations. Venezuela has now reached the point that Zimbabwe reached in 2008, and if we bother to watch the movie of Venezuela over the intervening years, it would have enabled us to see the future in the U.S. and elsewhere. As I stated in the essay, it's quite a simple process. One, study the evolution of nations. I'm going to skip that. And so, based upon history, predicting Venezuela's present condition was not terribly difficult to do back in 2014, and the projections made in the essay have come to pass. But where does that leave us with the U.S., EU, Canada, etc.? What do these countries have in common with Zimbabwe, Venezuela, or for that matter, any of the 20 or so countries that experienced economic collapse through hyperinflation in the last century? Well, after World War II, the world experienced a reset. The nations, a key word, reset. The nations, it said the nation of the world reshuffled themselves and a new order of prominence was created. A new paradigm led by the U.S. emerged. The U.S. was to be the economic top doggy, and those who got on board with the U.S. program would be able to enjoy the ride. All right, so, they switched to a paper currency. All right, and now they're going to switch to a digital currency. All right, that is going to be a new reset. All right, look at Silicon Valley Bank. All right, it says since then, where the U.S. led, others follow. Unfortunately, beginning in the 1970s, the U.S. began to throw out the rule book and create the beginning of the pattern that has, for thousands of years, and led countries to economic ruin. The dollar was taken off the gold standard. The government began ever-increasing program of borrowing, and the warfare programs began to expand. Other countries, most notably Europe, followed suit. The more a given country was tied to the U.S., the more it imitated the leader. Because the U.S. is in power right now. All right? It says, and it was possible to keep the party going for quite a long while, but like all parties, an end is inevitable. Back in 2014, very few people I encountered believed that an economic crisis might be in their future, as conditions still. It says, as conditions still appear fairly rosy, surely the U.S. will not go the way of so many other countries that were destroyed by debt, welfare, warfare, and collectivism. All right. And surely it would. All right, surely it would. If you look at the U.S. debt clock, that shit increases every day. Search up the U.S. debt clock, man. All right. Is there any more to this? Just lock it in 1 second. This is a real good article, man. I suggest brothers read this, man. But let me get to the scripture. This is Genesis 47. Sorry, man. All right. It said, this one stood out to me right here. It says, the U.S. is becoming divided between those who would like to back off from the fiscal precipice and those who are leading the charge toward it. All right, so this place is divided, man. There's a lot of Edomites that's against going against the elite system, man. All right, they're New World Order, that one world order. All right, they're against that reset, and there's a lot of Edomites pushing towards it. All right, it says, so I'm gonna get straight to precepts. This is Genesis 47 and 13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. All right, so there's a famine going on. It says, and Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan for the corn which they brought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And the money failed in the land of Egypt. All right. And in the land of Canaan. This is modern day Egypt. All right. And the money is going to fail in America, man. Just like it failed in Zimbabwe. Just like it failed in Venezuela. Hey, so these things are just a foreshadowing, man. Hey, this shit is over with, man. The dollar is losing value every day. That's why they give you niggas loans, man. They trying to hurry up and get this shit out of the way, man. All right, to hurry up and go into their new world order, which is a digital currency. The dollar loses its value every day, man. Okay. It says and the money fell in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan. All the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. All right. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange of horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread, and for all their cattle for that year. And when that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. My Lord also had our herds of cattle. There is none out left in the sight of my Lord, but our bodies in our lands. All right. So these are the times that's coming into America, man. All right. The money won't mean fucking shit, man, at all. All right. It's just a dollar. And you can wipe your ass with that shit, man. All right. There's no gold, no silver backing that up. And Esau knows that. All right. Like I said, he's pushing for that great reset, man. All right. And all those high class, those first class, Edomites, man. All right, lining up at Silicon Valley. All right, to take out their money, etc. Cash out on their in their investments, and they had to close the bank down because there was no money there, and that happened in an instant, man. All right, that's one of the most notable banks. Okay, hey, this dude Usain Bolt, man, he had $12 million in his account, of his career earnings. All right, his career earnings, and he woke up. It's an article. He said he woke up. His account had 12,000. Man, his money just fucking disappeared. All right, then you had that thing with Bank of America. I'm pretty sure they fixed it by now. But all these people's money was gone. Their money was gone, man. All right. Usain Bolt, he was through. All right. He said, I worked this hard. I worked so hard, and all my money is gone. This nigga was at 12 million to 12,000, man. 12 fucking thousand, man. All right. Which I'm not sure if he got the money back or not, but these things are just a foreshadow of what's going to come. All right. Famine. All right. Famine. Inflation. All right. You ain't going to be able to buy nothing, man. All right. This is Lamentations 4 and 8. Their visage is blacker than coal. They are not known in the streets. Hey, when you're famished, all right, when you're starving, or I'm talking about starving, your skin starts to turn darker, all right. Your stomach starts to bloat, to blow up. All right, your body starts to get weaker and skinnier, but your stomach starts to puff out. All right, like in those commercials, it says their skin cleaveth to their bones, it is withered, it has become like a stick. They that be slain with the sword, okay, are better than they that be slain with hunger. All right, because you being slain with a sword, all right, is a quick death, You're only dealing with that pain for a very short amount of time. Then you're out. You out of there. All right, but it says better than they that be slain with hunger. All right, because it actually takes time for you to die of hunger, man. All right, and through that process is a very excruciating pain, man. All right, on top of it is excruciating hunger, because your body starts to feed on the fat, man. All right, then it starts to feed on you. All right, it starts eating your muscle, not your muscles, your stomach from the inside. Okay. It says they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pound away stricken through for the want of the fruit of the field. The hand of the pitiful woman have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. All right, and this was coming to America, man, to a place near you. That word sodden means to boil. All right, I'm Matthew. Sorry. Limitations. And that's what you people gonna do, man. You people gonna lament. All right. All right, let's go to the word side. It says, so I gotta read the word first. This is the Hebrew word bashal. All right, bashal. It says to boil, to cook, bake, roast, ripen, grow ripe, to boil, to cook, to boil, to cook, to be boiled, to be sodden. All right, so it means to boil. And that's what's going to happen, man. The scripture talks about in the Apocrypha, they going to chew on their own flesh, I'm just paraphrasing that. But this is what's coming. And then your mind starts to hallucinate. I want to get this word pitiful, just to go into that. Your mind starts to hallucinate, man. You might see a light pole, and you think it's a damn hot dog. All right? So... but yeah, this the word for pitiful. It says raha manya. All right. It says compassionate woman. Let me go to another. Compassionate woman. So the hand of pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat and the destruction of their people. It says the hand of the compassionate women have sodden their own children. All right. So they will have no other choice but to decide to boil their own children. All right, so they can survive, man. All right, this is let me get this precept. 2 Kings. Six and I believe there's some up here as well. Hold on. Yeah. Wow, it was literally up here. It's all good. This is... There we go. This was started is 2 Kings 6:24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it. All right, so they besieged it. They surrounded the city, cut off all the food. Not cut off all the food, but cut off where you could enter and leave out. So they basically blockaded them, man. All right, couldn't go out to bring more water, couldn't go out to bring more food out. All right, to bring more food in. All right, you were stuck with what you had. All right, and that's the same thing that the Romans did. All right, they starved out. They starved out Israel. All right, from 66 AD. All right, until 70 AD, man. Because they slowly weakened Jake, man. It says, and there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 4 pieces of silver. So a donkey's head, all right, was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and that is a lot of money translated today. And the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. All right, so a dove's dung was sold for 5 pieces of silver. And the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall. There cried a woman unto him, saying, Help my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee? So he said, If the Lord not help you, what can I do? Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, all right, and the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So they had an agreement. All right, so we boiled my son. All right, so they sodomed that son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son that we may eat him, and she have hid her son. All right, so she supplanted him. Said, Let's eat my son. Let's eat your son today, and we'll eat mine tomorrow. But she supplanted her, man. She hid her son away. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. All right. Let me get this last precept. So these are the times that's coming, man. Food prices going up. Family. There we go. There's the final precept, 2 Ezra 15-49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. All right, so these are part of the plagues, man. Okay, these are part of the punishments. All right, the Lord said He bring great wrath because they walk in great pride, man. Roughly paraphrasing that. All right, let me just get it. Fuck paraphrasing it. 2 Ezra 8-50. For many great miseries shall be done to them, in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride, man. All right, so this is coming to America, and this place is finished, man. The food price is finna go up. The gas price is finna go up. These people divided. Okay. The Great Reset, man. Hey, prophecy is moving, man. So, but Lord willing, that was an edifying video. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah, Bashem Gakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom and the Bible Ball.